Hey there members, happy Sunday. Today is March 7th, which is the second week in March. Brings us to the second weekly workout of March, obviously. So here we are, we're gonna start off with Monday's video, which is for March 8th, okay? We're gonna do another Mobility Monday. We're gonna start here with a forward roll to V stretch. So this is gonna require you to get on the ground, okay? You're gonna bring your knees up to your chest, or toes behind you. You're gonna rock forward, land in a wide V here. Touch in between your legs. Bring your knees back in, down, forward, tap. Bring your knees in, roll, tap, right? Just kind of loosening everything up. If you can't really get totally flat, just tap here and then lay back, you know? Do what you can. All right, so after that, we have a thoracic extension. You're gonna lay flat on your stomach, hands underneath your shoulders, head facing the ground. You're gonna take a couple breaths, just take a rest here, and big breath in. As you slowly press your hands and forearms into the ground, looking up. Exhaling as I slowly lower. If you really want a good stretch, you can inhale. Press up through the hands. Exhale and relax. Okay, so that's the thoracic extension. What we're gonna do next is the dowel stretch. Of course, I don't have a dowel right now, so I'm gonna use this rope as my dowel. You can use this rope if you have a jump rope laying around, or broom handle, really anything will work. The key here is you want to make sure there's tension pulled into whatever object you're holding, right? So the rope, I'm going to try and pull the rope apart, but not really, because I like this rope, I want to keep it. You're going to rotate behind the head, open the chest up. Right? So you see there's that big spot right there where I have to like almost slip through, right? So that tells me that I'm pretty tight there in that range of motion. I'm going to widen my hands up a little bit more and go nice and slow. Okay, this is good. I can hang out back here. I can lower it and raise it, lower and raise it. I can go all the way down. I can complete the range of motion without that quick like snap or contorting my arms a whole bunch, right? Now, as time goes on, I did a bunch of overhead presses with the guys at Power Lunch today. We meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 p.m. if you'd like to jump in with us. See, the closer I bring my hands, the harder it is for me to get back, and I'll actually start compensating through my lower back, which we want to avoid, right? Anyway, so we've done the dowel stretch now. We're going to go to the leg lift torso rotation. Okay, you need the dowel that you have here, and then a table chair, something we've done this one before. You're going to, again, rest that down on your shoulders, and you're going to just work on rotating your whole body all the way through. And all the way through, okay? So here, and here, all right? Then you're gonna switch to the other side. Again, switch. All the way out here. All the way twisting through, okay? I'm gonna put my dowel off to the side. And then we have a couch stretch. Okay, so again, you can use a couch, you can use a chair. What you're gonna do here is you're going to place your forefoot on this chair. You're gonna kneel. Okay, this is a little high probably for most people, and I definitely feel the stretch in my hips. So I'm actually using I'm gonna switch legs so you can see. So again, forefoot, top of my foot, whatever you'd like to call it. And my goal here is I have a natural curve going on here in my lower back. I'm gonna work on posterior pelvic tilt, so bring my hips underneath, and that actually increases the stretch in the front of my hip, okay? So I'm trying to stay nice and tall, my hips and legs straight, keeping everything nice and normal as can be in this quite extreme stretch. And I'm just going to really try to posterior pelvic tilt. I'm getting a definite pulling here in the front of my hip, which is stretching my hip flexor, which is the goal of this particular stretch. All right, so again, you want to be holding your stretches for 45 seconds to a minute. This is a really great one if you have hip tightness from sitting at a desk all day, like we'll talk about later in the video on leg day, which is Friday. Just a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So again, same thing here, toe on, standing upright as possible, making sure your hips are squared, head up, chest up, pulling your navel into your spine, and I have that stretch in the front of my leg again, okay? So after that, we're gonna do a soccer drill, okay? So if you have a ball laying around, that's great. The soccer drill, we're on Tuesday, by the way, so this is interval training Tuesday. I'm gonna go ahead and start with a soccer drill. So again, we're gonna be doing either 60 seconds on, 20 seconds active rest, or we can be doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. The latter is Tabata. Check out our earlier videos that were released technically last year now, explaining about Tabata. Otherwise, you can just do 60 seconds on, 20 seconds active rest, okay? So soccer drills, if you want a more advanced version, go up here. If you want a less advanced version, stick to a low-hanging ball, and you just want a ball that's low to the floor, okay? You want a nice short ball that you can tap, and then you're gonna switch your legs, okay? So you're tapping your toe, foot up here, and you're gonna switch, okay? So 60 seconds on, 20 seconds off. After that, we're gonna go into a high plank. So immediately after your soccer drill where you're tapping that short ball, you're gonna be planking here. Okay? We're gonna go right into Spiderman push-ups. So high plank, knee to your elbow. 60 seconds here. If you want to modify it at the knee. That's fine too. Okay, after that, we can go into a side plank. Okay? Nice neutral spine all the way up, all the way down. Again, 60 seconds here. Side crunches. We're going right into side crunches. Arm goes out in front. You're gonna bring your knees, try to tuck your knees into your elbow. All the way out, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in. Focusing on that oblique right here that we just isometrically contracted for those side planks. After which we're going into hollow body holds. So you're gonna lay on your back, brace your core. Little squeeze here, little lift of the arms, little lift of the legs. Keeping your back flat up against the ground. That's a toughie. Okay, so 20 seconds is good for that. Finally, we're gonna do elbows to knees. So elbow, you're gonna cross one leg, so like figure four sitting position. Elbow to your knee, come up and across. Okay. And then again, you would just do the other side on the next round, right? So what we're gonna do is 4 rounds of that. That'll bring you to about a 20-minute high intensity interval training workout. This will totally burn calories. It'll get your heart rate up, you'll be sweating, and you'll feel great afterwards, okay? It's just in those 20 minutes, it's very tough. If it's too tough, drop it down to 3 rounds, 2 rounds, 1 round, do what you can, as long as it's activity. If you have a hard time, let's just say this is your first video, and this is your first time watching this, welcome. Good job showing up. You can modify any of these. I'm just recommending a number of reps and a number of sets, okay? So this is for time, not reps, and 4 sets will give you roughly a 20-minute workout. You can do 2 sets to start. You can do 1 set throughout the day, and that will do, that'll bring you to a total of 20 minutes. Let's say you're at the office working a long day, sitting down, do 5 minutes, do 1 round, take a break. Later in the day, do another round, take a break. Later in the day, do another round, take a break. Before you eat dinner, do another round, take a break. Or after dinner, but I probably wouldn't recommend that. Wouldn't turn out the best. Wednesday, so we have Wednesday we have upper body weights. On Friday, we're gonna be doing lower body weights, so you'll see what that contains. We're gonna be doing a special segment in the gym for that one. So here is our upper body. So we're gonna start with dumbbell overhead presses. Again, you can do this while you're in the fitness center at PCC. You can also grab, chances are you have dumbbells at home, right? A lot of people got dumbbells for quarantine, okay? Keeping a nice neutral spine after you do 12 reps of the overhead presses. We're gonna do 12 reps of rows, all the way to 12 chest presses. If you have a physio ball, a Swiss ball, big exercise ball, that's great. If not, you can lay down, right? Chest press here. You can modify a little bit, do a glute bridge chest press, work on your abs a little bit. Okay, so that's 3 exercises. We're gonna come up here, do bicep curls, nice and strict, no kipping. Okay, so elbows down by side, curl up, squeeze, slow, full extension. Okay, again, bicep curl up, squeeze, slow, full extension. Okay, then from there, we're gonna do tricep extension. So again, that row position, that hip hinge position, keeping the elbows nice and tight to the body. You're gonna extend out, okay? So 3 rounds, 12 reps gets you a dumbbell Wednesday upper body workout, okay? So Thursday is our ab day. We're gonna do a reverse crunch. So you're gonna start here, knees up at 90 degrees. You're gonna crunch up and you're just gonna pick your hips up off the ground, okay? So as you can see, I can slide my hand under my lower back. That's great. If I want a little bit more of a challenge, I can tuck my knees in and shoot my hips up. Okay, so these are called hip ups. I call them hip ups. They're a little bit more challenging, but the reward is a little bit greater in my opinion. I definitely feel those in my lower abs. The reverse crunches are great for your lower abdominals. So work on those. We're gonna do glute bridges next. So again, that side line, that back laying position, squeeze, press the hips up, keep your core engaged, your lower abs engaged, right? Extend through the hips, slowly relax, extend through the hips, slowly relax. Okay, you can also modify this and go one leg, try to keep the hips nice and even, all right? After that, we're gonna do elbow to knee crunch. Again, we did this on Tuesday. It's another really good one. Bring that knee, elbow across to the knee. You put your hand out here for help. Okay, so again, 12 on each side. Cat cows. This is more of like a mobility breath work, but the cat position is a really good contraction of the abs. Okay, and then finally we're gonna do body saws. So body saws are, you're going to be on a low plank position. You're going to literally rock your body back and forth like you're doing a saw. Okay, so what you're gonna do is a low plank. All right, you're gonna saw your body back and forward. Okay, so this is keeping your abs contracted, and you also have to move through the full range of motion. All right, so that's another great ab day workout. You have Monday, Mobility Monday, you have Interval Tuesday, you have Weightlifting Wednesday, Ab Thursday, and then next we have Leg Day up in the gym. So follow me over to the gym and I'll give you a blow-by-blow of our leg machines, okay? See you over there. For a Friday workout, we're gonna be doing some leg machines, everything that you would find in PCC's fitness center. We should be going over the basics. So this is the leg press. What you wanna do is, before you load more weight on there, you wanna really check the seat height, right? So for example, if I can put all of the weight stack all the way back here and only move this much, I'm going to be getting less out of it than if I do a lighter weight and I'm lower in, right? This is a more full range of motion, right? As you can see, I'm moving much more, right? And I'm pressing back. I'm also bracing my core and squeezing my legs as I press, okay? So first things first, change the seat height. I have very long legs, so if you have longer legs, it may be difficult for you to get into the bottom positions, which is fine. Just do whatever feels best for you. Okay, if you need a hand, one of the attendants will be here to help, whether it be me or Jim. Next, we're heading over to the back extension machine, which is, even though it's a back extension, we're gonna use it for a hip hinge pattern, okay? So let's follow over this way, okay? So for the next exercise, we're gonna be using the back extension machine. And some of you may be wondering, why is Joel using a back extension machine on leg day? I'm glad you asked. Because I'm going to use this machine in such a way, I'm gonna squeeze and focus on certain muscle groups rather than other muscle groups to produce a more strong, a more powerful contraction in my legs, right? So the hip extension pattern, something you hear about deadlifting and squatting, is vital. Every athletic movement, everything we do in our daily life usually involves some form of hip extension, okay? So I'm gonna grab the handles, I'm seated. You can see my torso is at a very steep angle here. I'm actually gonna pull this a little bit closer, and I'm going to first start off by pretending like I'm standing up and out of the machine, right? So I'm squeezing and leaning back. Now my quads are engaged, my glutes are engaged, my lower back is getting some tension here, but I'm mostly focusing on pressing my feet into the ground, right? And squeezing, exhaling as I brace my core and leaning back, okay? Now, you can really, just by engaging the muscles before you begin the contraction, that will really dictate where you feel this, right? So if I, maybe lower the weight, usually if you use a higher weight, you'll also get a stronger contraction in the legs because you're not really supposed to lift really heavy weights with your lower back, right? If I wanna focus on my lower back, I can relax my legs a little bit more and just focusing on that extension in there in my lower back, taking a little bit more time with it. But today's leg day, so we're gonna get back to the leg exercises with leg extensions, okay? Follow me. All right, members, so next we have the leg extension and leg curl on our docket. So what we're gonna be doing is actually setting our leg extension machine. We're trying to get that twice as high as our hamstring curls. The reason why we're doing this is because that's optimal for ACL health, right? Think about it like this, you have 4 heads of the quadricep muscle, quad 4, right? And the hamstring, which is actually one of the hamstring muscles, is the biceps femoris, right? Bi meaning 2, right? So 4 up top, 2 in the back, and we want the quads. The optimal range is like between 2 and 3 times stronger in the quads than you are in the hamstrings. We're gonna keep it simple and go twice as strong. Most members have an easier time, most people in general really, you don't have to be a member to experience this. Most people find that their leg extension is much lower than their hamstring curl, right? So we wanna actually work to correct that. So I have about 85 pounds on here. Okay, I'm just going through the nice full range of motion. Really focusing on squeezing. That's another thing. When you're doing machines, you always want to make sure your spine is relatively neutral, right? So you always want to keep your head up, your chin up, find the headrest of the machine, and isolate the muscles, right? Take it through the full range of motion. Now, if you're doing this right, at the top of the movement, you should feel a little bit of shakiness, okay? So we're going to do all of these machines for 12 reps here, okay? Now we're going to head over to the hamstring curl. And again, this is gonna feel probably pretty light for me. It's only 40 pounds, but I'm really trying to stick to that 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm gonna make sure my knees line up with the machine here, okay? I'm gonna lock my legs in, find my headrest with my head, and pull all the way down, squeeze, hold it at the top, and then I just wanna fight against the machine's natural tendency to raise up, okay? So it will lift and I'm just resisting the movement, nice and slow. Okay, so after you've done 12 reps on both of those, you're gonna head over next door to the abductor and the adductor. It's a 2-for-1, so we're gonna check that out next. All right, members, so next we have the abductor, adductor. It's a 2-in-1. Abduction is what we're gonna work on first, meaning the legs go away from each other, where one leg is abducted from the other, right? That's an easy mnemonic that you can use to remember. So I'm gonna train my abductors here, and you're gonna lean back, again, nice and tall posture, and I'm gonna open my legs as wide as they'll go, and then slowly resist the way down, okay? There's a yellow handle over here, which I don't know if you can see it really, because I might be in the way, but it is right there. It's next to the left pad here. And that will help you switch from the adductor setting to the adductor setting. This will also help you change your range of motion, okay? So again, shoulders back, head up, chest up, nice and tall. There's 2 sets of foot rests here, one for longer legged people, one for shorter legged people. Again, just nice tall posture in the spine. Okay, now if you notice, this machine's maxed out, so I can't really go all the way, but let's say if I were to drop it down to 80, which is like a 50% reduction, I should be able to get a wider range of motion, right? See, I can get pretty far out with 80 pounds, whereas with 170, I was having a harder time going through that full range of motion, okay? So lower weight and wider range of motion is better than more weight and smaller range of motion, okay? Range of motion is very important, right? Very few of us are training to be power lifters or D1 athletes right now, so range of motion is, I would say, more important than necessarily lifting heavier weights, right? And if you're training muscles through the full range of motion over time, you'll be able to lift heavier weights, right? So now I've switched it to the adductors, right? So I flipped these leg rests around. I've used my handy little yellow handle that right there that you can see now. And I've opened the leg rest a little bit wider, okay? Adductors will require you to use less weight, okay? These are the inner groin muscles. You definitely don't want to strain these on the machines. Okay, so I'm gonna drop here from 80 to, let's say, 40. To my knowledge, there's no mystical or magical ratio like there is for the quadricep and hamstring, right? So again, you see me kind of forward round a little bit. I'm talking to the camera, but I really want to be up, relaxed, you know, slight incline to the chin, or looking straight ahead even, that's fine. Sometimes I'll tell people to keep their chin up while they're training, because we're all, I don't know about you, but since the pandemic, I've been hunched over at desks, hunched over at Zoom calls on my computer, the whole 9. So really I try to focus on posture and keeping my shoulder blades together, my chin slightly elevated, and eyes forward, okay? So after that, we're gonna head over to the calf raise and finish this workout up, okay? All right, members, so this is the last machine that we're gonna be on for this workout. It's a calf raise. Very critical key to this machine. Something that I see a lot of people do with calf raise machines is they'll use it like a leg press, right? So my head's gonna get cut off, but I'm gonna keep talking. So they will set their feet up like this, and then they'll straighten their legs. Pay attention to my knees here, okay? They'll go like this, right? Now you're actually using a lot of quad, your legs, your hamstrings. I feel it in my calves, but that's not the intended use, right? I'm also at about 190 pounds, so that's telling me that I'm using way too much muscle. So I'm gonna actually drop this down to about 70 and try to isolate my calves. I'm gonna put my feet, the balls of my feet on this post. I'm gonna fully extend my legs to get into position. Head back, shoulders back. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna slowly lower your heels down below the post. Feel the stretch in your calves, and then drive up through the balls of your feet, okay? So again, you're gonna do about 3 sets of all of these machines for 12 reps. And there you have it, your very first leg day on the machines at PCC's Fitness Center. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week.